Welcome to the Tuesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. Whew. Yellow King Cosmic Seeking, welcome. Yes, Trump did find... Well, he was found liable. Two different things. But yes, we are going to talk about that. I mean, like, is it really surprising? If I were to tell you that, like, Trump was found liable in the civil case, liable for rape, would anybody really be surprised? Echo Rasta Dragon, how's it going? Quick offline shout out. Thank you so much for MX Chloe B42 for the follow, offline follow. I wonder if that's a reference to the video game streamer. I don't know if he still does video streams. Benda 42. Timmer Scrutch, thank you for the offline follow. I appreciate that. Michael Hassler, he grabs him by the... Yep, exactly. I mean... Alright, folks. Today is a little bit of a... I don't want to say short stream, but... It's gonna be on the... It's gonna be on the tighter end. Have a moment of fun for Trump's meltdown and 5 million judgment. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude was truthin'. It's such a cringy term. Truthin'. That he doesn't know who this person is. Alright, folks, let's get some headlines going. Surprise, surprise, we found another groomer.
Well, folks, it turns out that a drag queen has in fact been busted having sex with teenagers and plying them with alcohol even though they were underage. Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't a drag queen. It was a Republican lawmaker from the state of Texas. I get it so confused.
Surprise, surprise. Not only is it only a Republican lawmaker, which of course par for the course. These people, since now, the gloves are off. It's clear like these people are the fucking groomers. Surprise, surprise, and to add to the cherry on top is they're from Texas. Trump figured it would go away. Apparently, another round of Trump NFTs. No, that's not enough to cover the 5 million. Although, just to be clear, these people don't care. This guy was found liable for a literal rape, and they will still vote for him.
Because Republicans tell us like every day that it's the drag queens out there that are grooming children. It's the drag queens and the transgender folk that are a threat to our children here in the United States. But it turns out time and time again, it's always the Republican lawmakers.
Yeah.
Or the evangelical preachers, right? Let's not.
I mean, same thing, right? Like these evangelical people, they're conservatives. Yes. So same thing. Same thing. Venn diagram of evangelicals and Republicans is a circle. Okay.
Not forget them, but here we have an instance with a report released on Saturday, a day when most people are not paying attention to the news, but a Texas state Republican lawmaker by the name of Bryan Slaton, 45 years old. He had been accused by 3 separate women under the age of 21, the youngest being 19, so all over the legal age of consent for the record, not children by definition of the law, but still a teenager. The 3 women who worked as aides and assistants for Mr. Slaton alleged that on multiple occasions he plied them with alcohol, and the 19-year-old says that one evening at his condo, she drank so much because he kept giving her alcohol even though she was only 19. She had sex with him. The next day, she says she had to take the Plan B emergency contraceptive, and then he dropped her off back home after that. Let me read this.
Yeah, it's Republicans are. Whew. Republican donor Harlan Gross says in letter to Senate Finance Committee that he will not provide a list of gifts he gave to Justice Thomas.
Slaton was accused of disorderly conduct, which included harassment, giving alcohol to someone underage, and abusing his position. An investigation was launched in April after a 21-year-old legislative intern and 2 19-year-old aides accused Slaton of sexual harassment and retaliation. The House's General Investigation Committee released its report Saturday. It found that expulsion is, quote, the only appropriate discipline in this matter. The aides and interns said Slaton helped them get alcohol multiple times in January. He gave the 3 women vouchers so they could get alcoholic beverages at a lobbying event. On March 31st...
Wait a minute, isn't it illegal to give alcohol to a person who isn't legally of age to get alcohol? Isn't that... Okay, whatever.
Slaton invited that aide, the 19-year-old, to his Austin condo along with 3 friends where she drank rum and coke until her vision was blurred and she felt, quote, really dizzy, she said. She told the investigators she stayed at Slaton's condo after her friends left. The aide's friends told investigators that the next morning she took the emergency contraceptive Plan B and was driven to her apartment by Slaton. She also told her friends that she'd had sex with him.
Damn, I don't know about you, but that sounds indistinguishable from a fucking date rape incident. That literally sounds indistinguishable from a date rape incident. But okay.
Seems like a pretty big report for a Republican state lawmaker in the state of Texas. Why would you release it on a Saturday when nobody's paying attention to the news? Oh, that's why. Yeah. Now there is a vote scheduled later this week to determine whether or not they're going to expel this person. Why wait? Like what you have the final report. The final report seems to confirm all of these allegations. So why are we waiting till later in the week? I mean, you could hold the vote right this second and
I can answer that because they want people to forget.
be done with it. You could kick this guy out. So I don't understand the waiting, unless, of course, you're trying to think of reasons why you should not expel him, even though the report from the Republican-controlled legislature does say expulsion's the only option.
I mean, like, I think that they're hoping this is just gonna go away. Yet another story, you know?
Option, but you do you, Republicans, right? And in the meantime, you're going to keep trying to tell the country that it's the liberals that are a threat to the young people in this country. But as I said, time and time and time and time again, the real threat to the young folks in America always seems to be Republicans.
True.
And in many instances,
like, damn, the way that was described, like the girl, was saying that like she had like a lot of drinks and then felt dizzy, and then like woke up the next day in this dude's apartment. I mean, like, dude, that's indistinguishable from a fucking date rape scenario. Jesus Christ.
Republican lawmakers themselves. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low call...
It's a cute dog. Sounds like GHB. What is GHB? Oh, a drug that will knock you out? Gotcha. I mean, like... possible. But, I mean, like... you could feel that way if you've had enough rum and coke. That is a possibility. But regardless if it was only alcohol... or something else, it doesn't really matter. I'm just saying, like, the way it looks, and the way it played out, just like, because I mean, even if a person is completely intoxicated by like only alcohol, and they wake up, you know, the next day in like somebody's apartment or whatever, I mean, it's the same thing to me. It's the same thing. Gotcha. The date rape drug. Okay, gotcha. It's the same thing to me, whether or not it was just alcohol. Because it's quite possible to feel this way under enough rum and coke, especially if you're not like used to it. But the point still stands. All right, folks. Yeah, so this just happened, so I guess we're going to talk about it now. The jury says Trump must pay Jean Carroll $5 million for sexual abuse and defamation. A New York federal jury found former President Trump liable on Tuesday for sexually abusing and forcibly touching the writer Jean Carroll at her apartment at a department store in the 90s, and for defaming her last fall when he denied her claim. The jury of 6 men and 3 women ordered Trump to pay Carroll $5 million in compensatory and punitive damages. The verdict in the civil trial came less than 3 hours of deliberation in the U.S. District Court in Lower Manhattan. The jury notably did not find Trump liable for rape, as Carroll had alleged. I absolutely have no idea who this woman is. The verdict is a disgrace, Trump wrote in a post in his social media site. Yeah. Sure. A spokesperson for the 2024 Republican presidential campaign said this case will be appealed and we will ultimately win. Okay. Carroll's lawyer, Robert Roberta Kaplan, said we were very happy and left the courthouse with her client. Carroll did not speak to reporters. The verdict is the latest legal blow against Trump, who leads early polls for the 2024 GOP nomination. In late March, he was indicted by Manhattan State Supreme Court grand jury on nearly 36 counts of falsifying business records in connection with the 2016 hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. Trump also faces pending federal criminal investigations related to his efforts to overturn his loss in 2020 and his failure to surrender government documents when he left the White House in early 2021. He also faces potential indictment by a Georgia grand jury for his attempt to get officials there to reverse President Biden's victory in the 2020 election. I mean, like, the whole thing about his entire efforts, him and the Republican Party's efforts to overturn the election, I mean, like, that's the biggest one. That's the biggest one here. Like, if accountability really mattered, this is the kind of stuff that just can't, this just can't be, this just can't be allowed, like, tolerated at all. At all. This can't be tolerated at all. The fact that, like, a president or sitting president, ex-president, I guess, attempted to overturn his loss in a election is just ludicrous to me. Ludicrous. God, if only Liar's pants did catch on fire, he would be soot and ash from all the lies. True. Carol, 79, claimed in her lawsuit that Trump raped her in a dressing room in the Bergdorf Goodman store in the mid-90s. Trump cannot be prosecuted for the alleged rape because the statute of limitations for such a crime has long passed. Carroll sued him in a civil suit with a civil claim of battery under a New York state law enacted in 2022 that opened a one-year window for lawsuits alleging sexual assaults, which otherwise would be barred from the statute of limitations. Carroll also claimed that Trump defamed her last fall when he said that she made up her account of being raped. He pointed to her in a picture and he thought that was Mara Maples. Jeez. And tried to claim the picture was blurry. Yikes. The orange one with the giant T never stops. No, but eventually, you know, these things catch up to you, hopefully. In a just world, there would be a lot of accountability going here. You didn't see that from the tape deposition? No, I didn't. But that wasn't like a live deposition, right? Because he didn't testify in court. He that was just a deposition, right? Carroll also claimed that Trump's defamed her last fall, and he said that she made up that account of being raped. No, but it was played in court. Oh, okay, gotcha. No, I didn't see the full thing. Trump 76 called the allegations a quote complete con job and said that she was not his type. So there is so like, in other words, yeah, I am a rapist. What? I am a rapist. Just not you. Jesus. This is like Sargon of Akkad type shit. Yeah, the Access Hollywood tape. I'm pretty sure that Sargon of Akkad made that comment off this comment. She was his type if you point to someone you were once married to and mistake. Yep, true. Also, the implication is like he is a rapist. He basically told on himself. Imagine knowing this and still voting for this guy. Imagine. The video deposition proved Trump lied and so arrogant. I mean, Trump lies. It's another day ending in Y, so... yeah. Despite that claim, Trump mistook Carol for his second wife, Marla Maples, in a photo showing him and Carol together in the 1980s. Trump did not testify during the trial, but portions of a video of his deposition taken last fall by Carol's lawyer were played for jurors during the trial and closing arguments on Monday. Yesterday. That deposition, including Trump being asked about his comments in 2005. Oh yeah, this is the Access Hollywood tapes, in which he boasted, quote, "I'm automatically attracted to beautiful women. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet." I.e., yeah, I'm a rapist. Yeah. I just kiss. I don't even wait. So yeah. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. He said, including grab by the... yeah. Trump told Carell's lawyer during deposition that those comments were, quote, locker room talk. I don't know, man. He seemed pretty open about that. But he also said he had been But he also said it has been historically true with stars that they could grab women without their permission. If you look over the last million of years, I guess that's been largely true. Last million years. Yeah, okay. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately. Jesus, what a creep. Trump was probably the world's worst witness for himself. I mean... key moments, okay. A spokesman for the 2024 presidential campaign said the jury's verdict, the Democratic... oh, yeah, dude. Democratic Party, known as Jean Carroll. Yeah, dude, true. This was done at the behest of the Democratic Party. Okay. We'll skim through this. Yeah, lock her room talk. Mm-hmm. Trump mistakes Carroll in a picture for his ex-wife. You have in front of you a black and white photograph that we've marked as Donald Trump, DJT23, and I'm not going to ask you, is that the photo you're referring to? I think so. And do you recall when you first saw this photo? At some point during the process, I saw it. I guess that's her husband, John Johnson, who was an anchor for ABC. I don't know who it's. Let's see. It's Marla. You're saying this Marla in this photo? Yep, that's my wife. Which women are you pointing to here? Nope, that's Carol. Oh, I see. What? The person you just pointed to was Eugene Carroll. Who's that? Who's this? That's your wife. Jesus. How is this a blurry photo? She's not my type. Since Carroll came forward in 2019, Trump has repeatedly denied her allegation, often saying that she's, quote, not my type. Your Kaplan asked Trump about a June 24th, 2019 interview with The Hill where President used that phrase. One of the things that you said about Ms. Carroll at the time appears in your June 24th statement. And what you say there is, quote, I'll say with great respect, number one, she's not, yeah, my great respect. Not, so there is a type that you would rape? I don't know, man. When you said that Miss Carroll is not your type, you meant that she was not your type physically, right? I saw in her picture, I didn't know what she looked like, and I said it with as much respect as I can, but she is not my type. Again, that wasn't the question. After more back and forth, Trump repeating the claim, Kaplan ended the exchange. I take it the three women you've married are all your type. Yeah? So, wait, how did you confuse... Okay, anyways, I still don't know this woman. I think she's a whack job. I have no idea. I don't know anything about this woman other than what I read in stories and what I hear. I know nothing about her. She said I did something to her that never took place. There was anything. I know nothing about this nut job, even though there's pictures of you with her here, which you claimed was your wife. Okay, which you confused with your wife. We didn't need a January 6th committee. Just give Trump a camera and he'll tell anything. Yeah, like the worst, worst case scenario for Trump from a legal perspective is him testifying. Because he can't keep his mouth shut. But yeah. All you would need is just let Trump talk. Okay, so claiming that this is a political operative, whatever. I never know this person. More hoaxes. More, the usual classic greatest hits. Paisa. Big fat hoax. Liar. More election denialism in a case about nothing to do with election talk. Nothing to do with election. Locker room talk. Phony allegations. Yeah, okay. The GOP MAGA party Trump more charmed than horror movies. Sheesh. A spokesperson for the 2024 campaign said of the jury's verdict, the Democratic Party's never-ending witch hunt of President Trump hit a new low today. Yeah, dude. The Democratic Party orchestrated the trial, the civil trial, which ended in Trump being found liable. True. Alan with the 14 biddies, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. In jurisdictions wholly controlled by the Democratic Party, because that's where the incident happened. Okay. Our nation's justice system is now compromised by extremist left-wing politics. True, dude. Extremist left-wing politics is when, like, I'm being held liable for, like, sexual assault that I did. That's extreme left-wing politics. Make no mistake, this entire bogus case, which is why he was found guilty, such a bogus case, he was found guilty, is a political endeavor targeting Trump because he is now an overwhelming frontrunner to be once again elected President of the United States. $5 million, folks. We'll follow the other cases as they come. But I'm particularly concerned with the one about the election, the election, the attempts to overturn the elections. Those are the cases that I'm mostly interested in. We'll see if anything comes out of that.
Folks.
Ah.
until they told us this guy did it. Mauricio Garcia.
Major right-wing news outlet Newsmax blamed the wrong person for the Allen, Texas outlet mall massacre. So they did this multiple times, by the way. This wasn't like one mistake and they corrected it afterwards and apologized.
Itchy and Scratchy, howdy. The GA case, how about the Trump looking for votes? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the one I'm talking about. The GA case and the other case about attempting to, I think there's two of them, to overturn the election.
No, they did this a couple times, at least a couple times over last night, and they didn't apologize till today. And so far, I've only seen an apology in written form, and I assume they're going to do an on-air apology. They claim they're going to do one, but we'll see about that. But this goes to just how unreliable, if you need any more evidence of this, just how unreliable Newsmax is. So this is Greg Kelly, and here is his segment on this. And there's another half of this that I also want to get into, because as you're going to see, he questions something else about this.
Whatsoever. Until they told us this guy did it. Mauricio Garcia.
Wait, what? What mistake? What mistake?
And oh yes, a white supremacist with neo-Nazi ties. Now, look.
I mean, yeah, it was tattooed all over his body. Yes. Yes, and shared on social media. Yeah, this dude was a fucking Nazi.
This is not a white supremacist. And oh, by the way, we abhor white supremacy. But you know what the left does, right? They think anything matters.
By the way, before I even...
You know what the left does. Shut the fuck up.
The rest of this. Why would you feel the need to defend the idea, the fact, that he's a white supremacist? Why would you feel the need to butt into that conversation and claim that he isn't one? Unless you yourself are one and you don't want to be associated with what he did. What other reason is there? Newsmax knows their audience. This is the only reason to try and claim he is not a white supremacist, is because you don't want to offend your audience. I mean, this is just...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you could see, like, it's not just Newsmax, by the way. You could see, like, the responses, the responses online. Like, just take a peek at Twitter. I mean, these people are literally twisting themselves into mental pretzels, performing Olympic levels of mental gymnastics on the internet to, you know, either disassociate or attempt to say that this was some kind of psyop. Like, I mean, like, literally anything. The desperation, like, it reeks of desperation. No, thank you. I have a Twitter, but I'm never on it. Yeah. if you you know, just hypothetically, if you were to take a peek, you can kind of pick up on the kind of vibe these people were throwing down. You had like the cringy psyop take from that woman who works with Tim Pool, attempting to claim that this was some kind of psyop, within, of course, being elevated by Elon Musk. All of this being elevated by Elon Musk. Tim Pool, who was also named, I've seen YouTube comments. Yeah, there you go. Tim Pool, who was apparently an inspiration, doing, like, again, mental gymnastics to try to, like, deflect anything like that. Because, hey, congratulations, Tim Pool. You joined Ben Shapiro in inspiring far-right mass shooters. Congratulations, Tim Pool. Mr. I'm just some kind of centrist. Yeah, whatever, dude.
And then he has to, like, the fact that he feels the need to clarify, oh, we abhor white supremacy, because he knows how this looks. Because again, why else would you be claiming he isn't one? Unless you yourself are one, and or you know your audience are. But let's continue this.
supremacy. But you know what the left does, right? They think anything MAGA must be white supremacist. That is appalling. This is
Wait, that guy wasn't. Wait. Damn, dude. What a fucking self-report, dude. What a self-report. Whoo boy. Red Dressy, how's it going? The U.S. spent years rehabilitating the image of Nazis. It's not surprised that the U.S. their media continues to do this. Oh, well, Newsmax is a far-right news, outlet.
is just pathetic. All right. Now, there's a tattoo, many tattoos, and someone.
Many tattoos. Yeah, one including a swastika and the SS symbol. Oshis guy, welcome.
At one point tried to say that's the city of Dallas tattoo. No, it looks like it's the Puro Tango Blast prison gang tattoo. All right, this is not a white supremacist. Yes, if you stand on your head and cross your eyes and take a drag on a cigarette, one of those etchings might look like a swastika.
All right.
Yeah, they're talking about see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Pretty sure I can find it over here. Yeah. I don't know, man. It seems pretty unambiguous. I'm pro-living, true. Actual pro-life position. Shooter equals Nazi, Trump equals liable? Well, Trump was found liable, yes, and the shooter was a Nazi. Yesterday said I'm more pro-gun than most progressives from our country, even though I probably wouldn't get an A+ in the NRA. Yeah, but the NRA is like garbage. I meant to say even more pro-gun than some pro-gun progressives. I was confused when you said that my comment isn't controversial since I reviewed my overriding standing. Anyways, I just wanted to be honest and real about myself. Yeah, you're good. I mean, like, I don't understand, like, why asking for, like, basic, like, gun regulations or gun reform is controversial. I wouldn't consider that a controversial position. Maybe to, like, these, like, homosexuals, that's like a controversial position. But no, asking for some, like, basic gun reform is not controversial. I mean, like, it's the bare minimum anybody can do, to be honest. But whatever. This channel is pro-introspection. True. 100%.
So, here's the thing. You don't have to do all those things that he just said. I mean, you can if you want. You could try standing on your head. But regardless, whether you're upside down or not, you'll be able to tell that this is, in fact, a swastika.
Yeah.
Yet the Newsmax anchor, Greg Kelly, trying to claim, this guy's in prime time, one of their main shows, trying to claim this is not a swastika. So, just the full tweet here from Brian Tyler Cohen. The Allen, Texas mass shooter's profile on a Russian social media site has been found. He posted a photo of Nazi tattoos and reconnaissance photos of the Outlet Mall weeks prior. He also posted the right-wing YouTuber Tim Pool.
Yeah, like, Tim Pool is a right-wing YouTuber. And he got offended because of that, which is hilarious. I mean, I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Also interesting.
12 hours.
Worth noting here, Ben Shapiro as Benjamin Dixon.
Hundreds of rounds? Nah, that's not accurate. Unless you have like a fully automatic weapon, you're not firing 100 rounds per second. I understand what you're trying to say, but no.
Dixon tweets out, Ben Shapiro inspired the mass shooter who killed 6 worshippers at a mosque in 2018. Tim Pool inspired the shooter in Allen, Texas, who killed 8 shoppers, including children. Right-wing media is stochastic terrorism and needs to be treated as such. And I will link to this below in case you're not familiar with that mosque, what happened to that mosque shooting.
True, like the radicalization, that was the whole point of having this like conversation, I think it was yesterday, about the right-wing pipeline, the far-right pipeline. This is how it works. Did you see the Tim Pool show where it was Tim versus Lance? Yeah, I did. Well, I saw bits of it. Honestly, like, there's no point in taking anything Tim Pool says seriously. So you're basically just gonna go there to like, make yourself look optically good and then get like as many dunks in as possible and be incredibly well prepared. David is my celebrity crush. He should be everybody's celebrity crush. I'm sorry, this shit's so depressing. It is. Data collected by the gun violence, a nonprofit. The GBA defends a mass shooting of having minimum 4 victims. Yes, that's it. Oh, look at that. We crossed 200. Across 200, and a total of 229 people have been killed. Cool. The state of things. To fluff Tim's ego? No, I'm not gonna go. I wouldn't go there to fluff Tim's ego. Like, if I ever chose to do anything of that sort, yeah, I would take a long time. I would take a long time to prepare and make sure that I was ready. What percent are from assault weapons? I mean, it depends, because like you see like the more shocking ones are probably done with like rifles, but a lot have also been done with handguns.
And what inspired it, I will share the Montreal Gazette story here. But let's finish whatever's left.
Yes, but anyways, the point being is the radicalization is real, and it has real world consequences. People like Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, these clowns on Newsmax, Tucker Carlson, all these people have real impacts. Was it that said this past weekend there was 12 mass shootings, but over 300 shootings overall? I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me.
All right. This is what they do now. This is what it's all about. Trying to tarnish or somehow diminish the other side by any means possible. This, again, totally pathetic. Now, in the
Who's trying to tarnish the... No one's claiming he's a Trump voter. Maybe he is, but no one's claimed that.
Yeah, like nobody was saying like this dude, like nobody was saying this dude. No, he's making like the assumption that like is basically he's making the assumption that that they would automatically be talking about conservatives or the MAGA people, but that wasn't mentioned. He mentioned that, which is what I was saying earlier this time, Malaka. This is a self-report, right? Because like the whole problem was that this motherfucker was a Nazi. Whether or not he was a Republican or voted for Trump, we don't know that. Nobody talked about that. Nobody said that. He said that they're trying to tarnish the conservative or MAGA, whatever bullshit. He's the one that brought that up, which is what I'm saying. That's a self-report. So you're saying that you guys are involved in like this kind of ideology? Damn. Yeah, tarnishing the good image of Nazis. Tucker's going on Twitter with a show. Good luck, Tucker. Anyways, yeah, like this is what I'm saying. Like, you know, a lot of them are done with handguns.
There's only people pointing out that he has a swastika and the SS symbol on his arm. Like, who is painting the other side? This is who the man is. So if you take offense to this,
I don't know,
tells
man.
a lot more about you.
Yes, that's exactly what I say. What I'm saying. Like the fact that this dude had to like twist himself into like pretzels to be like, you know, this is what the bro. Really? I don't know, man. Oh my goodness. Representative George Santos charged by federal prosecutors. Oh, surprise, surprise! Another Republican con man. Are we in a simulation?
Than anybody else. This is so absurd. Like, why would you be jumping in to defend this or try and act like he's not a white supremacist?
Unless Jinx.
As I said, you know your audience, and you yourself are one. Now, as Forbes writes here, social media swamped with photo blaming wrong guy for mass shooting at Texas Outlet Mall, and they show the Greg Kelly image here. Here's another example. This was during Eric Bolling, The Balance, his show on Newsmax. So again, they showed the wrong image. As Forbes writes here, the photo does show a Mauricio Garcia, but he's 36 years old, 3 years older than the actual shooter who opened fire on innocent bystanders on Saturday. That man's mugshot was taken on August 4th, 2022, when he was arrested.
I wonder if they can. Sue for defamation.
And he has nothing to do with the shooting at an Allen Outlet Mall over the weekend. So this shows just how Newsmax and a lot of these right-wing outlets, because this was spread largely through right-wing channels online, just how there's no fact checkers, and they don't even care to fact check. They just, oh, he has the same name, that must be him, or maybe it's somebody else. Now, as New York Times writes here, the writer of the post, speaking of social media posts that were done by Mauricio Garcia, the actual shooter, suggests several times that they are of Hispanic origin, at one point indicating they are originally from Mexico. There was also a clear embrace of white supremacy, As recently as last month, the account contained a post saying that white people and Hispanics have a lot in common. So this is the other thing that right now the right is freaking out about, because again, they are trying to claim he's not a white supremacist. I wonder why. They are perplexed by the idea that someone who's Hispanic can be a white supremacist. Yet this is very common, actually. On its face, if you're not familiar with this stuff, it may seem surprising, and you may wonder.
Yeah, it is. Hello, person who's from like Central America. Yeah, meant to say that I can kind of understand why some people partially blame shootings on the gun. I mean, yeah, not particularly if I was being tone deaf. I mean, like the point is, like, obviously the gun itself isn't committing the shootings. The problem is that it is a force multiplier. It becomes then a force multiplier where otherwise a individual with proclivities for violence, like say a fucking neo-Nazi, has that tool and is now able to create more damage, has a tool that makes more damage. An AR-15 is a semi-automatic, yes. Modern racial hierarchies were pretty much invented in Spain. Yep. Will Trump pull any lower with him being found liable? No. Not by his not by his crowd. Not by his crowd. They'll keep pushing the line of like, this is a democratic political witch hunt. Or whatever, but will it make us? Because like the money, what makes or breaks, what will make or break this 2024 election, is the undecided, or the people who aren't already going to vote one way or the other. That's where the money is. Whether or not that's going to have a significant sway, who knows? Who knows?
Is that possible? This piece in Axios does a good explanation of it. So this is from a year ago. Their piece here, The Rise of White Nationalist Hispanics. So Nick Fuentes is a major white
true. This is a very good point. True. Like these people are like literally twisting themselves into pretzels, saying like, how could a Hispanic or Mexican person be a white supremacist or be a Nazi? Bro, Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes. It should get some of the prosecutors for other cases to ramp up schedules. Maybe. I mean, maybe. As long as they do it right. As long as they do it right and they nail this motherfucker, then so, it is what it is. If they're serious about these cases and they're getting all their ducks in a row, then fine by me.
Nationalist, public white nationalist. You also have Cuban American Enrique Tarrio, the former leader of the Proud Boys. And as they go on to write here, experts tell Axios far-right extremism within the Latino community stems from three sources: Hispanic Americans who identify as white, the spread of online misinformation,
True,
and lingering anti-black, anti-Semitic views among U.S. Latinos that are rarely openly discussed. Brian Levin, director of the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism at Cal State University, said in an interview that the trend is part of the mutation that takes place as the racist fringe tries to become more mainstream. Racism is deeply rooted in Latin American and Caribbean nations, where slavery was common. Tanya Hernandez, a Fordham University law professor and author of the upcoming book Racial Innocence Unmasked.
This is definitely going to be a thing. This is definitely a thing. Sharpie Diesel, how's it going? I'm concerned only because I saw an AI-generated image today I knew was fake. They're going to get completely snowed by bad propaganda in the upcoming election. I mean, they already rolled out like the initial like AI kind of generated ad, completely AI generated, CGI'd or whatever. I mean, if the way, the type of technology, I mean, geez, I would not be surprised. Like, imagine having to fight that too. Have to fight like AI generated ads. Oh man, it's not really anything new. They're just not playing a human to make it. They're just not paying a human to make it. That's a good point.
Latino anti-black bias told Axios, in Latin America, white supremacy is alive and well. Even families who have been in the U.S. for generations can often bring those biases with them. And then they go through several examples of Latino individuals who committed hate crimes. So I'm not gonna, no need to read through all that, but this is common. So it's not, at least common within the context of white supremacy. Not like this is some, rare occurrence to have someone who espouses these views who is Latino, but more here. So the right also, like this, the conspiracies are just ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's just to be clear, they're not like conspiracies like for the sake of conspiracy, just to make up like conspiracy theories. They're doing this to try to like bend themselves over backwards to distance themselves from this, because that's who they are. Because if they had nothing to do like with this type of ideology, why are they so desperate? Why are they so desperate? Being a private citizen, maybe slow down Trump rallies, who knows? Distancing, although they're injecting themselves into the middle of it. Yes, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because like by extension, they're kind of like self-reporting. They're waving a banner basically saying like, we are this. I'm gonna get going in a minute or two. Stay strong, everyone. A few minutes at the most. No problem. It's real easy to say Nazi bad. Yeah, like, and these people can't manage to do that. Instead, they concoct conspiracy theories and like attempt to spread like misinformation. Because like I could also posit that Newsmax maybe didn't do that as an oopsie, but maybe did that on purpose to keep like misdirecting in as many ways as possible. But they think the left are the Nazis. True. You think Trump is going to follow the internet gag order? Anyways, the tweet here in question. Why are the Allen Mall shooter's tattoos so damn fresh? I mean, because he took a photo of them at the time. Because he took a photo of them at the time? Trump can't keep its mouth shut. True. Yeah, why are baby pictures always of newborns? Damn. Like, why is my baby picture from like, 10,000 years ago, because that's how old I am. Why am I still a baby? But clearly, I'm an adult now. Thought analysis cannot fit into the character limit, but true.
So Kyle Becker here saying, why are the Allen Mall shooter's tattoos so
I mean, like, seriously, the amount of like mental Olympic levels of mental gymnastics like being performed here is just ridiculous. It's astounding. It really is. Instead of just being like, wow, this is really disturbing that we have like yet another far right mass shooter. Instead of just being like, damn, dude, maybe we should consider the fact that like I don't know. Like this whole Nazi shit is getting a little bit too much off the ground here. Not like instead of condemning, which is like it's like the bare minimum. Like, yeah, dude, Nazis can get fucked. They're incapable of doing that. They're incapable of doing that.
Damn fresh. A Hispanic man with recent tattoos of Nazi symbols and the city of Dallas. This just doesn't add up. And I love this reply here from Wild saying, Kyle, do you not know how photographs work? They capture a moment in time. So what you're seeing in those photos is him in the past.
And they have to know this. They have to know this. They have to know that they're lying. Because, like, no shit. When you take a picture, like, oh, look at the cool fucking Nazi shit I got. Like, it's a snapshot. Like, you know this. You know this. Okay? You're just running cover. Because maybe, I don't know. Maybe you are too. Yeah, we got CI, like like I said, the woman that works with Tim Pool, the redheaded libertarian or whatever. Interesting. Another libertarian trying to like basically, perform mental Olympic levels of mental gymnastics to defend a fucking Nazi. Wow, color me shocked. Surprised. Right, Photoshop, psyop, whatever. They shouldn't be constantly lying. They're also really dumb. True. But I mean, they have to know. They have to know.
Like a lot of people who get tattoos, he probably took these pictures right after he got the tattoos.
Right.
It doesn't mean he took these right before he committed the shooting. So they are just grasping for any straw possible. No, he can't possibly be a white supremacist. And again, why would they be so concerned about that?
Because maybe they know deep down, or at least have some kind of like some subconscious acknowledgement that maybe their idea, that the shit that they're pushing leads to that. Maybe it's a subtle, a subconscious admission of like panic. Of like, oh shoot. One bad thing about AI generated images is that they do make claims of misinformation more credible. Yes.
It is amazing. Just the obvious like telling on themselves that they are doing in all of these attempts to deny.
I prefer dangerous freedom, where yet another far right mass shooter, kills 8 people. Like a good portion of those people, was it 8 people or 9 people? It's I don't know. It was a lot of people, and a good chunk of that were kids. Yeah, dude. I'm so fucking like I can feel the freedom. I can feel the freedom pouring.
This obvious white supremacist. Dean Cain here. Remember that actor in who was Superman in the 90s? I used to watch that show. But he has completely lost his mind. So Dean Cain here saying, I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. Referring to Gavin Newsom's tweet here saying, this is freedom to be shot at a mall, shot at school, shot at church, shot at the movies. We have become a nation that is more focused on the right to kill and the right to live. This is not what the American people want. Do your damn job, Congress.
Yeah, like imagine like unironically thinking that like creating this faux like pro-life mantra and then like being like, yeah, I mean like I guess if like 6-year-olds die, I guess it's okay. Thank goodness this is a free country. as you like watch like yet another incident of like kids, of like literal fucking moms dead because they jumped on top of their kids to save them. Yeah, dude, fucking freest country on the planet.
So Dean Cain thinks or says he rather live in a dangerous freedom. But great point here by Matt Novak saying, I don't know how you can watch hundreds of people evacuating a mall with their hands up.
Yeah,
and
look at all
convince
this
yourself
freedom, dude.
This is freedom. This isn't freedom.
Base of PJ, how's it going? It's kind of confusing when the pro-life crowd is down with abortions at 6 years post-birth. Yep. Maybe it wasn't about being pro-life after all, huh? Just a thought. Dean doesn't wear a seatbelt because that's communism. True. Dean Cain was the best Superman for 2 seasons. These 90 characters get groomed by the right-wing groups with flattery at public events and gifts, and eventually fall head over heels into the cult. Yep.
This is being trapped by an extremist fringe. There are countries like Canada, where I'm from, where you can still own a gun. There's just a proper process you have to go through. There is training. There is background checks. There's a 30-day waiting period. They have to talk to your partner. They talk to past partners. They get clearance. Like there's a whole process, whether it's licensing a gun or whether it's
yeah, somebody posted it. Elio posted it earlier. George Santos catching charges. Yeah, like another professional, like, career con man, Republican career con man. Damn, you love to see it, folks.
The ability to actually purchase one. There's a long, deep process to do so, because of course a firearm is incredibly dangerous and only has one use: hurt things. So why would you just give those out like candy? Because when you do, this kind of thing happens on a consistent basis. And as I said in my other video, in case you missed it, like the issue here is very clear. It is the guns. It's not.
Hello, person who has a rap sheet of quite a bit of a rap sheet. Hello, 2-day account.
Video games, because other countries, Canada, Europeans, play the exact same shooting games. It's not.
All right, how long do you think this person's gonna last?
Movies or gun culture, even, because other countries like action movies, they enjoy explosions. They like seeing, I don't know, guns in movies or whatever. It's not that. It is the guns.
Too much censoring on Twitch. True, dude. Censoring is when people's private, like, channels want to cultivate an audience that they want to cultivate. True. That's the meaning of censorship.
The easy access to firearms. That is the problem. Until you address that, things like this will continue happening.
It's the woke mind virus going too far once again. Marjorie Taylor Greene in trouble? I mean, like, is she getting arrested? Because otherwise, it means, you know. All right, folks. Republicans, not Florida lawmakers, Republicans want to use radioactive material to pave roads. Cool. Hey. Now's the time, if you can. You probably should find a way to get out of Florida for many reasons, but yeah. What could possibly go wrong? True. Marjorie Taylor Greene gives her credit card to extremists to buy Kanye's website and sell it back to him. I mean, if that happens, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this is the person who hangs out with, like, Nick Fuentes and whatnot. I had a message deleted in TYT. I'm outraged, Drew. The censorship machine. She hired Milo. Oh, a Nazi. Look at that. Surprise, surprise. What wasn't she also like saying like, oh, I didn't know Nick Fuentes had the views that he did, and yeah, okay. Milo just got thrown off the Kanye campaign. Womp womp womp. Nazi infighting? Damn. That's how you're gonna they're gonna use up all that gypsum in Manatee County. Yep. Roads in Florida could soon include phosphogypsum, a radioactive waste material from the fertilizer industry, under a bill lawmakers have sent to Governor DeSantis. Yep. Uranium, thorium, and radium. Yep. Yep. As former Florida people, I think you know. What is it? What's the saying that the kids use these days? If you know, you know. Yeah. Yeah. This is what DeSantis spent millions researching. Yeah. Good memes. Good memes ahead, folks. Good luck, Florida. Our governor went to meet with people in rural counties because their groundwater is contaminated with nitrates. Yeesh. Good luck, Florida, because this is what happens when Republicans win power, okay? It's all fun and games until, you know, it's you. It's all fun and games until it's your family. It's all fun and games until it's your, I don't know, husband, wife, brother, sister, family member, friend, who may or may not work in the industry, who's gonna show up with cancer or other health issues. For real, this no doubt has to do with Piney Point and how it started leaking worse. DeSantis does an executive order, basically $10 million to a committee to come up with a plan. I was literally in this industry. Yeah. So people like you, Base of BJ, you know, your friends, family, are going to be affected by this. If you know somebody, or if you are somebody that is in construction, when the lawsuits happen, when you're the person that you know, whether it be family or friends, gets complications from like cancer or other ailments, you turn to the Republican Party and you blame them, okay? Did you see DeSantis can probably still be governor and run for president? Oh yeah, of course. Of course, they're gonna bend the rules. They used to have a resign to run, but of course, you know, they're if they haven't done so, they're planning to get rid of it. If they haven't already done so. So this is kind of just to set the stage for. Oh, so they did pass it. Okay. Was this just now? Did I miss this? Damn, I did miss this. This happened last week. What's wrong with me? No, this happened almost 2 weeks ago. Florida Republican-controlled legislature on Friday approved sweeping election law changes, including a provision that clears the way for Governor DeSantis to run for president without having to resign his current position. Hey, nice! Yeah, DeSantis is moving with haste, yep. Democrats and critics decried parts of the bill they contend could upend voter registration, called out the change would guarantee that DeSantis wouldn't have to resign his current job if he becomes the GOP nominee for president. That's the point. I mean, you know, these people are authoritarian. The Republican Party is fundamentally incompatible with democracy. So this should not be surprising. And he's more dangerous than any of them. He's more dangerous than fucking Trump. Okay? This guy's more evil and more fucking dangerous and more prepared in terms of like how he would execute a plan or how he would move around the legislative levers, this guy knows what the fuck he's doing in terms of that. Right, because Florida's a state that runs itself, no need for like a leader or anything. Yeah, well, I mean, but the one saving grace is that dude can't beat Trump in the primary, and he's going to be a jab. Oh, I hope so, because like, I hope that this is such a bad primary for him that it makes his chances in 2028, go boop. Abbott's more effective. You think so? I mean, not to discount the dangers, not to discount how dangerous Abbott is too. Yeah, hopefully it's such a bad primary that it torpedoes his chances in 2028, because this guy as president, should definitely scare people. Abbott is, but he isn't running. Gotcha. I would worry about Abbott more because DeSantis, even to normies, see him as a mini Trump. Abbott is at least his own man. He didn't need Trump to win the Texas. True. At this point, I have as much chance of getting the Republican nomination as DeSantis. True. Roads in Florida could soon include phosphogypsum, a radioactive waste material from the fertilizer industry. Under a bill lawmakers have sent to Governor DeSantis. Conservation groups are urging DeSantis to veto this bill, saying phosphogypsum would hurt water quality and put road construction crews at a higher risk of cancer. The EPA also has a say in the matter. The agency regulates phosphogypsum, and any plan to use it in the roads would require a review. Here's what to know about the law. What it would do specifically. HB 1191 would compel the Florida Transportation Department to study using phosphogypsum in paving projects, calling for demonstration projects using phosphogypsum in road construction aggregate material to determine its feasibility as a paving material. If approved, phosphogypsum would join pavement aggregates such as crushed stone, gravel, and sand. In recent years, the Federal Highway Administration say industrial byproducts and reclaimed materials also have been used as aggregates. The bill sets a deadline of April 1st of 2024, giving the Transportation Agency less than a year to complete its work and make a recommendation. The Republican-dominated Florida legislature approved this measure by a wide margin. Like, what are they going to use that shit for? The fucking road base? Mix it in with the asphalt or cement? I don't get it. I think they explain it. But basically, it's, from what I understand here, it would be used as an aggregate like crushed stone and gravel to kind of mix in and make pavement, I guess. The fertilizer phosphorus is important for plants to grow strong roots and crops to be productive. Florida has been an important source since the 1800s. Today, the EPA notes Florida alone accounts for 80% of the current capacity, making it the world's largest phosphate-producing area. When phosphate rock is dissolved in sulfuric acid to make phosphoric acid for fertilizer and another few uses, phosphogypsum is what's left over. The underlayer below the pavement where it can dissolve into the water table. Cool. This. Oh, nice. Oh, very cool. So yeah, we're gonna put this right on top of the right on top of the water table. Cool. Nice. Good meme. Good luck, Florida. The commonly used production process, which dates to the 1840s, is not very efficient. For every ton of phosphoric acid produced, more than 5 tons of phosphogypsum waste is generated. Florida's prominent role means the state also has massive waste sites called phosphogypsum stacks or gyp stacks. Such stacks can be very large, spanning up to 800 acres and 200 feet high. Wait, were you able to escape? Oh yeah, I'm out. Out of the fire and into the frying pan, but out of Florida I am. I pieced out to Georgia. So, on paper, out of the fire into the frying pan, but like, you know, well, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, so not Florida, at least, I guess. Heart of Dixie. Whew. California here. They've been linked to a serious problem over the years due to sinkholes and other breaches. Phosphogypsum contains appreciable quantities of uranium and its decay products such as radium-226, according to the EPA. And because the fertilizer production process concentrates waste material, phosphogypsum is more radioactive than the original phosphate rock. Cool. The radium is of particular concern because it decays to form radon, a cancer-causing radioactive gas. Cool. At least Cali got legal fucking weed. True. So I guess glow-in-the-dark roads. Yeah. And then houses confirmed. No, this is much better. It's underneath the pavement. So it gets into the water. You know? Much better. An analysis commissioned by the Fertilizer Institute, a group that represents the fertilizer industry, disagrees. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The fertilizer industry that's trying to push this scheme disagrees with that assessment. Yeah. Saying that using phosphogypsum in road construction won't produce radioactive doses that are above the EPA's acceptable risk. Wait, so it does. Liquid glow party. Such work stated can be done safely and results in doses that are small fractions of those arising from natural background radiation. Yeah, the old acceptable risk BS. Yep. And so a fucking subsidization of the fertilizer industry's waste bill. They're gonna sell us their waste. Yep. Last November, researchers in China who reviewed numerous existing studies on recycling phosphogypsum said they were optimistic about its potential use in road construction material, but they concluded that more studies are needed, noting that few studies have focused on its durability or analyzed its long-term effects on soil or water resource. You know, little tiny important stuff like that. Just small important things like, you know, soil and water, the things we need. Yes, exactly. Even China was like, well, hold on. Give us a second. Critics of the new legislation are urging DeSantis to use his veto power. Using radioactive phosphogypsum in roads is not a solution of fertilizer's industry toxic waste problem. So the Center for Biological Diversity and more than 30 other groups sent in a letter to the governor. Florida should not be a test subject in the industry's reckless experiment. The group said the fertilizer industry, which has already shown it can't adequately manage more than 1 billion of tons of waste currently stored in Florida. The EPA says the phosphogypsum remains prohibited from use in road construction and has continuously for more than 30 years. Under President Trump, the EPA briefly rescinded that policy in starting October in 2020, but reinstated that rule in June of 2021. The Florida legislation doesn't address the federal prohibition outright. Its supporting documents note that the EPA allows some uses for research and purposes, and it asserts that the phosphogypsum is not technically a, quote, solid waste. Whatever, bro. When asked to comment on Florida's plan, the EPA told NPR the legislation passed in Florida would not affect the requirement that U.S. EPA review proposed alternatives use of phosphogypsum on an individual case-by-case basis. The agency said the state would have to apply for approval. As with any other proposed project, the EPA would then open a public comment period, release its own technical analysis, and seek input about the proposal. So, yeah. DeSantis could sign the phosphogypsum road test measure into law at any time if I guess, damn NPR, if he takes no action, the bill will be enacted automatically. Cool. Okay. If you conceal it into concrete, it would be better, but the radioactivity could potentially cause computer glitches in any electronics nearby. Maybe. Like, the main problem is if any of this stuff, like, leaks or causes problems with the people working, like the construction people working, that's a problem. If it gets into the soil and water, that's a problem. But yeah, I mean, well, that's what happens when Republicans win power, folks. Say, I don't know, a train crash, yeah. Which seem to be happening very frequently. F-bombs for you, rating with a party of 14. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Folks, if you have never seen me before, I am A Difficult Truth. I do the news, I do the politics, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys enjoy your stay and you want to support the channel, hit the follow button. It really does help us out. And I hope you grab some beverage, some snack. Enjoy. Thank you, F-bombs, for bringing your wonderful community over. I appreciate that. That's pretty clever. That's pretty clever. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. So all that, to piggyback off this this next story, DeSantis takes major step ahead of presidential bid. Florida Governor DeSantis severed his connection to his long-standing state political committee and then tens of millions of dollars that it now controls, a step he needs to take ahead of a presidential campaign. The Republican governor is expected to jump into the race for president soon, and the move to rebrand his Florida political committee called Friends... Have a cold beer, Chud Light. I love it. I love it. Friends of Ron DeSantis is the most concrete sign so far that his candidacy is imminent. Lenny, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. DeSantis filed a notice last Friday with the state that he was no longer associated with the political committee and that he was no longer raising money either directly or indirectly for the organization. The website for the committee was changed on Tuesday to say that the mission is committed to advancing the, quote, freedom agenda and keeping Florida free. Yeah. Have you seen the Trump deposition? We got like the synopsis of it. Wild. More importantly, the website changed to say that the committee was associated with State Senator Blaise Ingoglia, not DeSantis. The committee on Tuesday also filed paperwork that said Ingoglia replaced a Tampa accountant as the official chair of the organization. Ingoglia is a Republican ally of DeSantis, sponsored several of the governor's key priorities during the recent concluded legislative session, including a crackdown on illegal immigration that includes $12 million for the governor's controversial migrant relocation program. Controversial migrant relocation program. Yeah. I guess that's one way of saying it. I live in Massachusetts. I've seen 2 ads for DeSantis for president. Jeez. A spokesperson with DeSantis political operation did not comment on the shift, and Ingoglia did not immediately respond to request for comment. Okay, so all this to say that, yeah, this guy's probably going to run. Seeing the polls and stuff like that, I'm going to take the L. I thought maybe he was going to be more reserved and play his hand in 2028. But it looks like he's going to commit to running this election, and he's going to fail. He's going to fail because this is a cult, and right now the cult leader is Trump. The Republican Party is a death cult, and they are currently led by Trump, and that's not going away. That's just not going away. He's what, double digits? He's double digits? No way. Tucker could beat DeSantis, maybe, but he's not going to run. Tucker's in a he knows where he is best at, and that's far right propaganda. Is MAGA infighting bad? No, but the point being is that he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. I don't think he can get the MAGA people. No. Trump beats Biden possibly from jail? Nah, no shot. If Trump, if there's a scenario where there's actual, if there's a scenario where actually there's some accountability and Trump ends up being in jail where he fucking belongs, yeah, no, I don't see it. Did you see Tucker is going on Twitter for a show? Yep. Good luck, Tucker. I don't know. Maybe Elon will signal boost his garbage. Maybe Elon is gonna tweak it so that Tucker gets the views. Because Elon is Elon supports like all these far right people. So it wouldn't surprise me if maybe that move was done intentionally. The greatest witch hunt of all time. Oh yeah, 100%. Rick Live, 100%. I mean, he said it himself. I could literally shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue and they'd still vote for me. I wouldn't lose votes. Or the quote was very similar to that. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah. Anyways, DeSantis first set up his committee in 2018 when he used it to raise a record amount of money for his re-election campaign. As he pulled in donations from many major Republican donors, current campaign finance records show the committee has nearly $86 million in the bank. DeSantis cannot use the money raised for Friends of DeSantis in a federal race because state law does not limit how much someone can give to the political committee or source of donations, but that money could be shifted to a super PAC that backs DeSantis if the governor is no longer connected to the committee, to the political committee. While some have questioned the legality of such a move, the Federal Election Commission deadlocked over a similar strategy that was used by Representative Byron Donalds. Ingoglia did not respond to a question whether or not the political committee will shift money to a super PAC, helping the governor's bid for the White House. This comes as DeSantis ratchets up his plan to start stumping for his White House bid. After concluding a frenzied legislative session last week, the governor flew to the battleground state of Wisconsin, which former President Trump won in 2016 and lost 4 years later, to make an appeal to the Marathon County GOP. On Saturday, he plans to hit the early voting states of Iowa to attend Representative Randy Feinstra's annual picnic. The next month, he will head to Nevada, another early voting state, to headline an annual Basque Fry event. In the meantime, he has been hosting dinners with financial supporters at his office residence in Tallahassee and trying to assure them that he could win critical states like Georgia and Arizona, according to someone with knowledge who was granted anonymity to share the details of the private discussion. And he recently dined with evangelical leader Bob Platts, who runs a conservative family leader in Iowa. Yeah. Did you see the Japanese press questions on video with DeSantis? No, I did not. He has also been fine-tuning his stump speech as he goes out on the road, seeking to bolster his argument against President Biden while figuring out a way to differentiate himself from Trump without alienating the ex-president's loyal base. That's not gonna happen. Meatball Ron. Ron the Sanctimonious. That's not gonna happen. This is a great emote. Joe Biden has done more damage to his country in 2.5 years than any president in our lifetime. Damn, dude. Jesus Christ. DeSantis avoided any mention of Trump, instead highlighting his own electoral success in Florida in an attempt to underscore the weak performance by candidates tied to the ex-president, a frustration for many Republicans. He previewed a few other potential attack lines against his chief primary rival, calling out Trump's former COVID advisor, Anthony Fauci's early pandemic guidance DeSantis proudly bucked. The meatball pudding pop. In a recent Newsmax interview, DeSantis directly responded to Trump's attacks on the governor's past support for cuts to Medicare. Those are Democrat attacks. I don't think anyone really buys that, even though he's on record doing this, but okay. Even though you could check his voting record, but okay. DeSantis said about Trump's PAC is the ads that Trump's PAC is running. Donald Trump himself wrote a book where he was talking about the need to increase the age of eligibility for Social Security to 70, and said people shouldn't be worried about retiring, just keep working. Right, because like fundamentally, like just to be clear, Republicans don't give a shit. Republicans want you to work until you die. Republicans want you to work until you die. These ads that the Trump PAC was running, really is bullshit, because like, yeah, it's true that Ron DeSantis voted the way he did about Social Security and Medicare, but Trump doesn't give a shit either. Biggest mistake Biden has made was not focusing on bringing people that planned the coup to justice. I mean, like, you could say that his Justice Department maybe, but yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem that the person who is at the head of this whole thing is not seeing an ounce of accountability. Trump is not seeing an ounce of accountability for what he did, and probably won't. We'll see. Besides Trump's legal troubles are still ongoing, maybe, but it's another way of saying Garland was a bad pick for AG. I agree. Yep. If that's another way of saying Garland was a bad pick for AG, I agree. Yep. Recruit into the workforce at 10, and once you hit retirement, to be like, oh, you can't afford to retire, keep working. Yes, work until you die. The Republican mantra. Polls consistently show DeSantis trailing Trump in the primary, but competing in a head-to-head contest with Biden. So yeah, the TLDR, it looks like he's serious about this. Man guilty in Texas protest killing posted, quote, "I am racist." Prosecutors sought on Tuesday to portray... Hey, get back here. Okay. To portray as racist a U.S. retired... a U.S. Army sergeant who fatally shot an armed man during a BLM protest in Texas, saying he was hostile toward the social justice cause and looking for trouble before the encounter. Yeah, Daniel Perry's 2-day sentencing hearing began with the introduction of dozens of texts and social media posts that he wrote that shared or liked, including some shockingly racist images. Surprise, surprise. The texts and posts have been excluded from Perry's trial, but were publicly released after his conviction and introduced as evidence at the sentencing hearing. Now, the reason why this is kind of like important is because Governor Abbott has been wanting to pardon this guy. Yeah. Texas Republican Governor Abbott, meanwhile, has been pressing for the chance to pardon Perry under state's stand your ground law. I just happened to be there armed, Your Honor. Total coincidence. Okay? The guy looked at me funny, so I had to shoot him, okay? Like, you see, this is kind of like the exact, like, kind of, amount, like, the perfect example of what the issue is here. Because the guy had a rifle, right? The guy had a gun. He put himself into a position where he could potentially need to use it because everybody in Texas is well armed. The person that he shot was also armed. So, like, you can kind of see where this goes. Even though the person who was shot never did any kind of... the person he shot was never, like, going to do anything to him. Does that make sense? Use your words, not your gun. Yeah, but he's, you know... He's some kind of... he's some kind of, like, Republican racist dude, so... He wants to be a Fox News contributor, I guess. Yep, you went looking for trouble. Stand your ground doesn't mean shoot him while you're standing as long as you're white. Yeah, I mean, well, that's what it means in Texas, I guess. But yeah, stand your ground doesn't mean, oh, look, I'm putting myself into a position where then I would have to do that. Like, at least in a normal sense of in a normal, like, rational, logical world, a stand your ground law is meant for, hey, in a self-defense situation, I don't have to run. I can defend myself. I can stand my ground and defend myself or my life if it's, like, you know, being threatened for real. That's the whole point. It doesn't mean I get to go and put myself into a position where that might happen. And it also doesn't give anybody the right to shoot somebody, period. So, like, yeah, in nowhere in this case, because he was convicted. He was convicted. So in nowhere in this situation where that would apply, because if not, stand your ground would have absolved him. If it was a real self-defense scenario, stand your ground would have absolved him, but it didn't because he was convicted. It just makes no sense other than, hey, I want to, the whole point of Abbott doing this is to essentially greenlight this very same behavior. Yeah, I got my will fifis hurt, so I gotta get violent. I gotta put myself into a situation where I know that I might have to shoot somebody, so then, yeah, so be it. Perry was convicted of murder in April and faces up to life in prison. Prosecutor Guillermo Gonzalez asked the district judge, Clifford Brown, to issue a sentence of at least 25 years. This man has a loaded gun ready to go off any perceived threat, which, exactly as he mentioned, I got my fifis hurt, so now I must shoot. Yeah, Abbott is incredibly dangerous. Yes, I'm sold. The simulacra is correct. I'm sold. The fact that he's trying to pardon this guy essentially says this behavior is okay. Perry, who's white, was working as a rideshare driver in downtown Austin on July of 2020 when he shot and killed the 28-year-old Garrett Foster, an Air Force veteran. Foster, who was also white, was legally carrying an AK-47 as he participated in the demonstration against police killings and racial injustice following the killing of George Floyd, a black man by a white police officer, Minneapolis police officer. Among Perry's statements, introduced on Tuesday. He wrote on Facebook a month before the shooting, "It is official. I am racist because I do not agree with people acting like animals at the zoo." Oh boy. Yikes. Yikes. That's oof. That's a big oof. Floyd was killed on May of 2020, and a few days later, Perry sent a text message to an acquaintance as protests over the Floyd's death got underway. "I might go to Dallas to shoot looters." Damn, dude. Huh. Perry's attorney, Douglas O'Connell, objected, saying that some of the statements were, quote, taken out of context. What context is necessary here? What context are we missing here? Quote, "I might go to Dallas to shoot looters." What else do you... This is as explicit. This is as black and white as it gets. This is crystal clear. There's nothing gray about this. What context could you possibly need to be like, "Oh yeah, this makes perfect sense"? And that Perry has a right to free speech. Yes. Yes, we do have a right to free speech. However, things like this, implying that you're going to commit an act of violence, is not freedom of speech. Right, he wasn't on trial for his speech. He was on trial because he fucking killed somebody. You're 100% correct. And convicted, by the way. So this wasn't a self-defense. None of this bullshit. Moving Train Media, yeah, correct. Murder is not speech. So yeah. Some of the messages and memes Perry shared were disgusting, but others were simply, quote, dark humor. Ah, yes, Schrodinger's asshole. Gotcha. Barrack's humor. Gotcha. Schrodinger's asshole. So when I say something incredibly abhorrent, and somebody laughs, then it's a joke. Or sorry, what was it? Schrodinger's asshole. If I say something very abhorrent and somebody calls me out, then I just say it's a joke. But if they don't call me out, I keep going. Ah, but he's a good old boy, true. Thinking that comment would have been deleted in TYT chat too? True. Censorious TYT. Another example of how little people value life. Yep. O'Connell asked the judge to take into account Perry's military service. He served for more than a decade and sentenced him to no more than 10 years. You killed somebody? No? Forensic psychologist Greg Hupp testified that he believed Perry had PTSD from his deployment to Afghanistan and being bullied as a child, and that he may have autism. Perry did not seek combat, but was near a soldier who shot himself in the head. Jesus Christ. So why was this person allowed access to a firearm? Especially if they have like no, it's not just like PTSD, but like if they have a propensity or more chance of violence, like why does this person have a firearm? His mother, Rachel Perry, was the last person to testify Tuesday. They professionally trained, yeah. She said her son was ostracized as a child because of a speech impediment and that he was an observant Jew. Perry's conviction prompted outrage from prominent conservatives for killing somebody? Yeah, dude. Damn, really? Wow. Including, of course, Tucker Carlson, who called the shooting an act of self-defense and criticized Abbott for not coming on his show. Yeah. Man, the right really just wants you dead. These are the same people who have been praising that NY subway murder. Yep, same. Yep, the same exact response. Methinks they just want you dead. Abbott, a former judge who has not ruled out a 2024 presidential run, tweeted he's not going to run. I mean, like, there's no indication that he's going to file for running for president. Texas is one of the strongest stand your ground laws, and he looked forward to signing a pardon once a recommendation from the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles hits his desk. Yeah, okay, but this is not stand your ground. Otherwise, he would have been found. If stand your ground applied, they would have used it in the defense, and it would have worked. If Texas has such strong stand your ground laws as he claims, then they should have found him not guilty, but they didn't. They convicted him of murder because that's what he did. He's a fucking murderer. This just screams we're gonna defend him so we can do it too. 100%. That's the whole point. Exactly. That's exactly the point. That's exactly why Abbott is gonna pardon him. Reminds me when my kids were young and I would just not give them things, so it wouldn't be a problem if I had to take it away, like bottles in bed and pacifiers, guns. Yeah. Just just a little asterisk. Yeah. The board, which is stacked with Abbott appointees, which convenient, has already begun what legal experts say is a highly unusual and immediate review of the case on the governor's orders. Damn, this guy really wants to send a message, right? Because the next time a protest happens or anything like that, hey, green light, put yourselves in a scenario where you might have to stand your ground. Put yourselves into that position. You'll be all right. He'll pardon you. It's okay. Here's a question. Is it okay if the roles were reversed? Is it okay if the roles were reversed? Like the law is explicitly saying it's legal to run over protesters. Yep. Protesters, let's say, Nazis, get run over. Is the same treatment going to be applied? Because I seriously doubt they're weaponizing their followers. Yeah, 100%. Because I seriously doubt if the story was, I don't know, just to make up like a left-wing activist, left-wing, person decides to shoot, I don't know, like neo-Nazi at a neo-Nazi rally, and was going on like stand your ground or whatever. Would Governor Abbott pardon that person? Would Governor Abbott be so adamant and so quick to try to pardon them? If the roles were reversed, I'm just asking a simple question here. If the roles were reversed, where the same incident happened, just completely in the reverse, right? Would Governor Abbott pardon that, pardon that person? I'm back. Welcome back. They're weaponizing their followers. Yes. So, in other words, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? Right? If the roles were reversed, there would be no trial. See, yeah, exactly. Exactly. They want you dead. It's that simple. The governor has not said publicly how he came to his conclusion because, well, It's simple. He wants to greenlight this behavior. It's not clear when the parole board will reach a decision on Perry's case. Perry is assigned to Fort Wayne, Alaska, but has been classified as a, quote, civilian confinement and is pending separation from the military. Army spokesperson Bryce Doobie said. He was stationed at Fort Hood, 70 miles north of Austin. When the shooting happened, he had just dropped off a rideshare customer and had turned onto the street filled with protesters. Yes, I'm just going to finish my gig here, and then I'm going to go and put myself in a scenario where I'm going to have to fear for my life and kill somebody. Yeah. Perry said he was trying to get past the crowd blocking the street when Foster pointed a rifle at him. Perry said he fired at Foster in self-defense. Witness testified that they did not see Foster raise his weapon, and prosecutors argued that Perry could have driven away without shooting. He was in a car. Perry could have leaned into his military training when surprised or in a stressful situation. He turned and looked up, and there was a crowd very quickly. What he perceived was a weapon. I don't see there was intention. Foster's girlfriend, Whitney Mitchell, described to see how Foster had taken care of her every need after an infection led to the amputation of her hands and feet when she was 18. She was in a wheelchair and was with Foster at the demonstration when he was gunned down. He took care of me, Mitchell said. He would wash my face and do my hair and help me put my clothing on, help put on my makeup. He helped me when I couldn't do anything. That's so sad. The difference between guilt or innocence is the quantity of right-wing media you consume, it seems. Yep. Joey John, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. Yeah. All right, folks, I got to run through these headlines. Debt ceiling. Yeah, debt ceiling is still a political football being tossed around. Republicans, of course, are going to end up. Republicans are responsible for the fallout that happens. No matter what they try, no matter what they say and what they do, Republicans here are going to be at fault. And the economic fallout of this will be on them. We'll get more information on this, but it seems like as the investigation unfolds, the incident that happened in Texas where some person decided to run over a bunch of migrants and killed a lot of them, killed multiple, apparently yelled anti-migrant insults, according to a witness. So it shouldn't be surprising when the investigation gets revealed that this dude was intentionally trying to kill migrants, because Republican stochastic terrorism has been consistently pumping out the rhetoric of, you know, border invasion, invasion. And lo and behold, you get somebody attempting to kill as many people as possible. Make no mistake, this is if it is if found, which it's kind of hard to argue that it wasn't intentional, because man, if that wasn't intentional, I mean, eight people outside a migrant shelter. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that this wasn't intentional. But I'm sure that as the investigation goes on, we'll find out more. But if it's the case, you know, I would definitely blame Republican stochastic terrorism again, because their rhetoric, their hateful, xenophobic rhetoric, continuously pumping their viewers full of fear with the same, consistent rhetoric of invasion all the time. You didn't think that somebody was gonna, eventually take up arms like the other person did in Texas. I think it was like the Walmart shooting, and now I'm sure there's other incidents, but now this one too. Now that these two idiots set themselves on fire while trying to burn down a shelter for migrants, like they were trying to, like, burned it down and they got on fire. If it's war we seek, then we all lose. What are you talking about? What war? What war are you talking about? Yeah, hateful and stupid. What are you talking about? If it's war we seek, then we all lose. What are you talking about? I'm saying that Republican stochastic terrorism, conservative stochastic terrorism, has led to this sentiment, and it's not surprising that these type of incidents are happening. I remember if the shelter burned down, but yes, the idiots got some gasoline on themselves. Damn. Either that or they were standing in it. Gotcha. Nobody ever said that these xenophobic, fascist assholes were smart. All right. Yep. Last story, folks. South Carolina police shooting survivor said deputies opened fire on him immediately. As you can see, no regard for the person on the right-hand side. As you saw, they immediately started unloading their weapons. Because all this was from some kind of wellness check that appeared because there was some incidents previously. And apparently the response, like regardless of what happened here, apparently the response was to immediately open fire, having no regard for the person's mother who was right there. So regardless of what this person's was accused of or was being looked for or something like that, it was like I think it had something to do or ended up in some kind of like breaking and entering that where he didn't steal anything, but it ended up in a wellness check. Like, I don't know. The point being is he had some issues with his girlfriend, and he kicked the door. The cops were called. Wasn't able... wasn't charged with anything. He wasn't doing too well because of some mental health issues. Probably also arising from the fact that he was going through some stuff, through a breakup as well. Like, he was going through a rough time. a wellness check was called, and he was talking to his mother. And yeah, they just mag dumped. Kind of shocking that the video automatically started playing, but I think the split seconds that we saw kind of gave us an idea. Which shooting is this? I'm having a hard time. This was a while ago, but now they're bringing a lawsuit. People aren't perfect doesn't mean they should be executed or nearly. Yeah. How's he doing? Well, he's not dead. Oh, this incident happened 2 years ago. I'm sure, yeah. The cops just need more training, folks. Cops just need more training. That's it. That's the issue. Michael Hatzer with a cute animal video redemption. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll go out with the cute animal video. We'll find something. How horrible. All right, let's see if we can get yeah, there we go. I'll send something BRB. Yeah, you can always send stuff in the... Oh. You can always send stuff in whispers.
It's gone. And just like that, my plant is gone.
Oh, it's so cute. It's a baby turtle. The world these days can be so shitty. All I can do is pet my kitty. Yep. Look at these fashionable llamas. Oh, I see. Thank you, Chain Scratchy. Well, we'll definitely keep that in the pocket. Oh, so cute. Oh, now I'm gonna get Purina ads and... Okay. Is that a cat? Yep, that's a cat.
I mean, then look at this then. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing.
That's adorable. Alright, we'll do one more. That's adorable. That's cute. Also cute.
Hey Chase, can we take away Millie and give her to a new family, bud? We give her to someone who's gonna love her more. Why? Come on.
Well, we got ourselves a prediction.
Hey Chase, can we take away Millie and give her to a new family, bud? We give her to someone who's gonna love her more. Why? Come on.
Why? Says the kitty. That's adorable. All right. I think we sufficed well that last one was itchy and scratchy. All right, folks. Nobody loves cats more than I do. Yeah, unfortunately, I gotta get going. I have 2 cats, okay? Alright, folks. I do have to get going. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the follows. Thank you, F-Bombs for you. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Thank you for the biddies, Alio. Thank you so much for the subscriptions. Thank you, Michael Hassler. Thank you, Heat. Thanks for playing. No problem. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Michael Hassler, for keeping it chill in the chat. Thank you, Echo Resto Dragon. 7 cats. Look at that. Sharpie Diesel. Thank you for mixing it up in the chat. Bipedal Meatbag. To the Flag. Alio. Conscious Canuck. Itchy and Scratchy. The Simulacra. Thank you guys so much for mixing it up. Moving Train Media. Appreciate it. Thank you for mixing it up in the chat. Rick Live. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And once again, F-Bombs, thank you so much for Base of PJ. Thank you for mixing it up as well in the chat. Please go follow and support Base of PJ. Please go follow and support Alio Share. They're phenomenal, folks. Phenomenal. F-Bombs. F-Bombs for you. Go follow them as well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you for rating. Thank you for the follows and all that awesome stuff. We'll be here Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you hit the follow button. And if you can't support the channel in a monetary sense, you can always go to the YouTubes. All right, hit the big red subscribe button. It really does help us out. Spread the word. We are here Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow. Thank you. 5 p.m. Eastern Time. See ya. Hang tight, folks. Yeah, it worked out this time, right? It was professional. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cosmic Seeking, thank you. See ya.